be having a lot of limitations as far as going plant-based. They come up with a lot of reasons to not be plant-based. So I'm just gonna give you a few of the common ones that I get, excuses that I get, myths that I get, and debunk them for you, because you're a lot more capable of this diet than you think. One of the most common things that people say about plant-based lifestyle is that we don't get enough protein. It's not enough protein to gain muscle mass in the gym. It's just not enough protein to live in general. But let me tell you, chickpeas, lentils, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, almonds, peanuts, any type of nut or seed really, beans, black beans, like spinach, asparagus. It's just so many plant-based items from the earth that Mother Nature provides that we're not taking advantage of, or I guess don't really realize has so much protein in it, and not incorporating it into our diet, that people really would think all the protein is in the meat, when that's not the case. That's not the truth. But that's what we've been told all of our lives. So what I would say to that, the argument that it's not enough protein in a plant-based diet, is to just expand your palate. Our palates are just super limited based on stuff that we grew up eating and that we're used to. But you really just have to expand your palate and be more open to plant-based protein. It's possible, it exists, and it doesn't have to be the processed stuff. I understand though, because it's like a weaning process, for real. All of our lives we've been eating a certain way and we have to change. I don't recommend plant-based proteins other than like the natural products, of course, like the chickpeas and stuff like that. But I don't condone it or encourage it. But I do understand that some people need some type of buffer, like in the meantime, while they're transitioning to a mostly plant-based diet. So it makes sense. It is still better than eating flesh. Like, y'all gotta admit that once you are more plant-based, you'll find ways to where you don't need that anymore. Like, you'll find out how to cook up a mushroom that tastes like that, and you'll be all right. Speaking of expanding our palate, the second most common myth I get about plant-based diets is that it's too limited. People feel really limited. People feel like all I'm eating is like kale and apples, especially if you come from like a really indulgent type of lifestyle and then you try to transition to plant-based. You don't actually realize how many options that you do have, because you're cutting away a major part of your plate, which is that meat. It seems like worse than what it is, but I promise you it's not. Now is the perfect time to actually be transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle, because there are so many creators online that actually share their recipes now for free. They just be showing their recipes and what they eat. And I found a curry chickpeas and sweet potatoes recipe that I love, like probably like a good year ago, that I done perfected and made it like how I like it now. And I don't miss curry chicken, like I don't miss curry goat, even though that's all I was eating, because I'm Jamaican and that's all we was eating there, but I don't miss it. I found a different way to enjoy the same type of flavors, and that's really all it be, is we want that flavor more than we actually want that flesh. As soon as we find other ways to bring that flavor that we crave more than we actually crave the meat itself, the more that you really open up your mind to the different creators and follow certain people and unfollow certain people and like get certain things out of your consumption in general, like don't get in the doctor's line, don't watch certain things that will trigger your cravings and stuff, don't do certain things that'll trigger your cravings, like just completely change your mind about your consumption, because that'll influence everything. So another one of the most common myths that I get about being plant-based is that it's too expensive. I can't be buying all the healthy stuff, it's too much money. That one really confuses me a lot. Same people that are eating out every other day, are eating meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I am definitely more convinced, and I lived it, so I know this for a fact, it's way more expensive to live a lifestyle like that. Most people that are addicted to the meat are also addicted to the fast food. So that's why they'll be in the drive-through line a lot more than they anticipated they would be. And all of that stuff adds up. So whether we want to admit it or not, it's definitely a lot more expensive in the long run to be like addicted to meat and addicted to fast food. Even if you're not addicted, like the things that I mentioned earlier, the peas, the veggies and stuff like that, all of that stuff is relatively inexpensive. It's a lot more cheap in the produce section than it be in the meat section. That one kind of really does confuse me because the math does not math. The math, it doesn't make sense. Plant-based being too expensive, to me, that's just another excuse and another reason to put off something that you know that you might need to try and you might need to transition to. So, yeah. So the last myth that I'm going to talk about, plant-based diets cause digestive problems, or you become sick, or you don't feel well, and I just can't handle that, I need my meat. That one is understandable. People that I know that are trying to transition or even just trying like a cleanse for a week, they'll get really sick and that'll actually make them stop their diet. When honestly, all you had to do was just keep going. We gonna get sick because our bodies were used to this one way of eating that was actually damaging us for so long. And then we're switching to something new and completely different. So our bodies, of course, are going to be in shock. So it's completely understandable why somebody might feel sick. Your stomach might hurt. You might really just be going through it. You might be getting headaches. You might be feeling hungry. It's normal. It's normal because like it goes as far as these are the types of food that our parents were eating. Like our mother was eating while she was carrying us in the womb. Like she was eating meat and all this crazy processed stuff that they have out here. It's totally understandable why your body would be in shock. It's just that you have to understand the ones that prevail and the ones that really are successful are the ones that dealt with that discomfort and continued on with what they were doing, not the ones that stopped midway because they were uncomfortable. Decide that the temporary discomfort is actually going to be worth the bigger purpose that is at the end of it and the abundance that is at the end of it. Your body will thank you for making that decision. I was sick and I was uncomfortable when I first started this journey. I was on a juice cleanse and I didn't feel good. I had mood swings and withdrawals. You're going to go through it, but are you going to get through it? Because the thing is, when I did make that transition, I came out with more energy. I had a clearer vision. I had a renewed purpose. Like it was really good for me, and I look a lot better than I was looking before. I feel a lot mentally, like I feel better overall in my life. So like I have no regrets. I probably would never go back. I'm Jamaican, like I said, so if I was in Jamaica and I know where that chicken coming from and I know it wasn't born 2 days ago and now it's getting on my plate, like that's different. You feel me? That's different. But it's like this processed food in America, you cannot trust it. You really can't trust it. So it's just choose your battles. Would you rather continue to eat all of this processed meat and this crazy stuff that they be putting in the meat out here that we're aware of because we be telling each other this stuff every day and we watch the documentaries and then we still go back and eat the same things. So we're aware, but are we gonna apply that knowledge to our life and actually lessen the risk of a lot of things that are just avoidable as far as mental health, physical health, like all the way around. Everything is connected. Every single thing is connected. And your consumption is like the most important thing. I mean, I'm just trying to crush your excuses one by one. I'm trying to get rid of them excuses because I had them, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to have a new conversation.